Okay, this time what we're going to be doing is we're still going to be formatting text. We're still going to be making our document look better. We're going to use some of the features that Google Docs offers to us. There are other programs that offer more features, but this one's going to give us pretty much all the ones that we need. What we're going to do is we're going to apply styles, and we're going to modify those styles, and then we're going to make those modifications, those customizations temporary, and then we're going to try making them more permanent. So what I have here, and the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of quickly look at it, is I've got something up here where it says sample text. I'm going to treat that as a title. I'm going to treat the word styles as a subtitle, and then I'm going to have various headings, so like important points and then different paragraphs. And you wouldn't have this, these headings as your headings, but I'm going to, because all I need is sample text. So you know how to make something a title. Usually we want it centered, we want it a little bit bigger, maybe underlined, maybe bold, maybe a different color, all those things. So what we can do is, if you go to, we could take the title and we could make it bold, we could make it centered, we could do all those things manually. What we want to do though is we want to tell the computer to do the work for us. So along the ribbon, you're going to find a spot where it says normal text. And if you click on that, options for normal text or title or subtitle, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. We're going to make use of some of those. So I want this to be my title. Now when I click on title, I get this. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. But when we get to the point where we want to customize these styles, I might change it. Actually, looking at them, I'm probably going to change the one that says styles. So styles, I want that one to be my subtitle. So that should end up being underneath the sample or underneath the title. That's not where it ends up, so I'm going to fix that a little bit later. Just leave it for the time being. Important points, I'm going to have that to be heading number 1. Paragraph 1 is going to be heading number 2. I'm going to take heading paragraph number 2, and I'm going to make that also heading number 2. Paragraph 3, I'm going to make heading number 2. And it's not that it's the second heading, it's just a style called heading 2. List of colors down here, I'm actually going to make that heading 3 for one simple reason. If you look, all I've got is heading number 1, 2, and 3. But as soon as I click on heading 3, if I go back to my list, I have heading 4 available to me. So if I needed more than 3 different headings, I can get those as soon as I start using them. I'm going to use the list of colors. I'm going to do something else with that in a moment. Actually, why don't I do it right now? So if I take my colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and up along the ribbon, I have options to put in a numbered list, and I could have various numbers up here, and I could make it a bulleted list. Bulleted list looks something like that, and I've got different options. I'm going to grab this one just because it's there. And unfortunately, I let go of my whole list, so let's just grab the whole list and make that a bulleted list. You'll notice the indent in. If I take one of them and I press tab, it indents even more and the bullet will change. If I decide I don't like that, well, tab was what moved it in, so I'm going to do shift tab, so the shift key and tab moves it back out. And that works if this was a numbered list as well. So just to make it a numbered list, if now I'm looking at yellow, instead of that being number 3, if I hit tab, it moves into be A. Hit tab again, it changes again and indents some more, and so on and so forth. And if at any point I want to move those back, shift tab takes it back. Okay, I want to make some changes here, and I'm going to start out by making them temporary changes. And I'm going to start with this one here. So the word styles, I want that to be a subtitle. And right now my subtitle is here. But what I want to do is I'm going to make that, I don't know, maybe a little bit smaller. So make it 18, for example. Actually, I should select my whole thing. I'm going to make it 18. I don't want it to be italics. I want it to be bold. Maybe I'll change the text color. gray is kind of boring. Let's make it a purplish. And I want it to be centered so that it fits underneath the title. I could change the font, but I'm going to leave that alone. Now, right now, I've updated that subtitle, but if I decide I want this thing, which was heading number 1, if I turn that into subtitle, it goes back to the original. So what I want to do is I want to make this new subtitle format to work every time I use it. So the way to do that is under subtitle, under styles, and I have the subtitle. There's this arrow at the end. If I click on that arrow, I have 2 options: apply subtitle, don't click that; update subtitle to match. So when I change something and I want to update subtitle, so now if I click on update subtitle to match, 2 things happen. One of them I don't really see. One of them I see if I go here. Now it's it's updated to what I wanted it to be. Okay, now I can do that for any of them, but if I take this line here, and this was originally as heading number 1, as you can see, if I make that a subtitle, it gets updated. Not updated, it gets converted to the subtitle format that I assigned to it. I want it to be heading number 1, so I'm going to go back. Here's where, and I can do that for any of them. So any one of these heading number 2, I can make whatever changes I want, and then I would update it to match. Here's a bit of a problem. If I make a new file, new document, and that one eventually loads up, if I want to have a subtitle, not sure where that all came from, but if I want to have a subtitle and I format that as a subtitle, it's the, whoops, missed it, try that again, it's the original one. So if I want to use this as my subtitle forever, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Format menu, and down here in the Format menu I have these paragraph styles, and there they are: normal text, titles, subtitles, so on. Right at the bottom I have the option to save as my default styles, and if I click on save as my default styles, then that one needs to go. If I start up a new document again, new documents, and when it loads up, now if I do my subtitle, there we go, it's now updated. So if I update to match in the drop-down list, it's temporary. It will hold it inside that document, but only inside that document. If I want it to be permanent, I always want to use that subtitle style every time I use it, I have to go to the Format menu and down along the paragraph styles right at the bottom, and save as my default styles. So that's pretty much all there is to it, and it's pretty easy to do. And again, as I said before, you've got lots and lots of styles available: heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As long as you use some of the earlier ones, you'll have access to the later ones. Okay, so we'll try this out and make sure you know what you're doing.